Good evening and welcome to Picture Perfect Charleston, South Carolina for tonight's USL match. The Charleston Battery gets set to host ATL UTD2 at MUSC Health Stadium. Hey everybody, my name's Poppy Miller. I'll be your host for tonight's game. Alongside me, Harris Krucic. Harris, a big match tonight for a number of reasons. The Battery come into tonight's matchup unbeaten in 10. One of the players for the visitors that will be looking to end that streak tonight, a familiar face for the Battery, it's Romario Williams.
Yeah, fans on both sides will be hoping to see Romario Williams tonight. One of the top 10 leading goal scorers all time for the Charleston Battery, 25 goals in 2 seasons on loan with them. Has spent most of this season with the first team, but he'll be looking to get his 4th cap for the reserve team this season. Romario
Williams led the Battery in goals last year with 15 on the season. This year, like you said, has spent the majority of his time in MLS, but the Battery know firsthand just how dangerous he is in front of goal. One from Charleston's old number 9 to their new number 9. It's 6'6" striker Ian Svanteson.
Yeah, Ian Svanteson replacing Atula Guerra in the lineup. He'll be hoping to replace his productivity. Atula Guerra, the leading goal scorer in the USL this season. But Svanteson did find the back of the net against ATL UTD2. Barely found the back of the net earlier this season. But goal's a goal, and he'll be able to do that again tonight.
Ian Svanteson has started 7 of the 12 games he's appeared in this season, and we can expect him to join the trio up top tonight. So keep your eye on him, hanging on the last defender, creating chances, and especially getting on the end of any aerial balls into the box. Well, as we mentioned, tonight is a big match for a number of reasons. One of the biggest reasons, Mike Anhauser celebrating his 25th anniversary at the club. I managed to catch up with him earlier this week to talk about how special tonight will be for him.
It's a great accomplishment. I'm happy about it. But I told the guys, I said, for me, it's not about what I get or what I do as a coach. It's about, I'd love to see them get 3 points tomorrow.
Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium for tonight's USL match. The Charleston Battery hosting ATL UTD2 for the very first time this season. Poppy Miller alongside Harris Krucic. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match wherever you are. Well, we are minutes away from kickoff, so while we have a second, let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups presented by Banner. For the visitors, well, the first team off this weekend, which means a full squad for head coach Scott Donnelly. Can gets the starting goal Across the back line, Bello, Cochran, Robinson and captain Jack Metcalf. Castro will sit just in front with Wheeler Aminu and Carlton in the middle. Samuel on the left, Vasquez on the right, and the man up top tonight that everybody will have his eyes on, it's Romario Williams. Well, for Mike Anhauser's side, 9 changes to the team that picked up a midweek point against the Rowdies. Additional Cooper gets the nod in goal. The 3-man back line, Hackshaw, Mueller and Archer, Kelly and Arambula anchor the middle of the park. Rittmeyer on the left, Bolt out on the right, and the trio up top tonight, Higashi, Swanterson and the Atlanta United Loney, Patrick Okonkwo, going up against his parent club tonight. While Harris, we are moments away from kickoff. Several changes to the Battery lineup, who are unbeaten in 10. And for Atlanta, still looking for their first win on the road. What will be the key for them tonight?
I think it comes down to 2 things. First, how does this young attack for Atlanta deal with this very experienced backline of the Charleston Battery? Andrew Carlton stepping in, 18 years old. Romario Williams, Brandon Vasquez have been with the first team predominantly this season. So it'll be interesting to see how they can try and break down this back line that has been very, very stout all season. And then second of all, how do these first-team players like Romario Williams and Brandon Vasquez, how do they adapt to not necessarily having a whole lot of chemistry with this reserve team, considering how much time they've spent with the first team? So it'll be interesting to see how they steadily adapt throughout the match.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Romario Williams and Andrew Carlton to get us away here at MUSC Health Stadium. Was catching up with Romario before the match. Everybody absolutely thrilled to see him, from the fans to the photographers to all the front office staff. And what a game we have got on our hands. The Charleston Battery handed ATL UTD2 their only loss so far this season at Coolray Field. And now, of course, desperately searching to pick up points to climb their way up the league, sitting from second to bottom in the Eastern Conference.
One of the themes throughout Atlanta United 2's season has been their efficient passing, very, very efficient passing, especially the first matchup against the Charleston Battery earlier this season. Atlanta United 2 had over 800 passes, which is the most they've had all season. But the problem has always been trying to find that finishing product. And that's something that you'll always get from a young team, is you don't necessarily understand once you get those opportunities in front of goals, you must finish. And then that's something that they're learning.
It's Carlton into the box in the early going, away by Hackshaw. The Japanese veteran Kotaro Higashi to bring the Battery out. Takes a heavy touch from Mario Williams on his heels. And now Bolt looking to bring the Battery out the back. Well, we talked about how successful Atlanta United have been this season in just passing percentage. On the other hand, the Battery always seem to have the lower possession heading into halftime and even at the final whistle. But for them, the counter-attack really has been key to their game.
Well, that's how they like it. That's how they play, and that's how they were so effective against Atlanta United 2 earlier this season. Scott Donnelly said it himself. The first matchup was essentially a microcosm of this entire season. It was Atlanta United's efficient passing, yet costly mistakes on the other end, when Charleston Battery loves to get on the counter, and they were able to take advantage easily.
And like we mentioned, ATL UTD2 with a full selection tonight. We were talking about it before the match. It's not often that they have a full player pool of 23 men available to choose from.
Yeah, it's nice when the first team isn't playing, because then these other guys like Vasquez, Romario Williams, they get the chance to play and join these guys and get some efficient playing time that they don't necessarily get with the first team. Yeah, they are definitely not short on options tonight.
Mike Anhauser showing full faith in his squad with the 9 changes to the lineup from the midweek match against the Rowdies. Seeing some fresh legs in there will be absolutely key for the head coach. He said earlier this week, Jay Bolt just with a hefty challenge on Robinson, a familiar face for the Battery. 6 of ATL UTD2's players tonight all have played or had ties to the Battery at some point. Miles Robinson being one of them. Came to the Battery on loan several times last year, often meeting them on the road without a day's training before, but one of those players that's very adaptable and settles into any squad.
Yeah, I mean, all of these guys are familiar with one another, really. Lagos Kunga said it himself earlier this week. It's going to be nice seeing all these guys and laughing it up pre-game, but once that match starts, you have to respect one another and respect each other's games. And yeah, we'll see how tense this gets.
Well, it was Carlton looking for Samuel down on this near side, shielded out by Angelo Kelly, who's in his first season with the Charleston Battery and really has earned his spot in the middle of the park, been a mainstay on Mike Anhauser's side, and tonight he will link up with USC product Ryan Arambula for tonight's match. The trio up top is very interesting. Svanteson returns from a minor injury and gets his first start tonight with 1 goal against ATL UTD2 already this season when they face them away. And then, of course, Gordon Wild, the Atlanta United loanee, on the bench tonight with the other 2 goals against them when they played them in Atlanta.
Yeah, very good lineup, especially up front. Something that I've noticed throughout the season for the Battery is that Mike Anhauser loves to play everybody that's available to him, and that's the benefit of being able to rotate these guys that played, midweek and get essentially almost an entire new 11 out there. But these guys are fully prepared. Svanteson will have a tough time trying to do what Atul Aguirre's been able to do when it comes to production for the Charleston Battery, but he'll do his best. Like you mentioned, he already got a goal for Atlanta United against Atlanta United 2 earlier this season. Not entirely sure that it crossed the line, but a goal is a goal. And as you mentioned, Patrick Okonkwo also out there, the Atlanta United homegrown on loan for the Battery. He's struggled a bit this season, but he'll hopefully look to get a goal tonight against his parent club.
Let's see if he can exploit the space. It's been back and forth in this early going. Kelly out wide to Archer on the far side, the Trinidad and Tobago international, the local boy here in Charleston, captaining College of Charleston throughout 4 years, signed his first contract with the Battery just a couple of months ago, despite training with them since the beginning of the season. It's Bolt, takes his touches. Can he find the trio up top? Goes out wide to Nico Rittmeyer. Rittmeyer at the top of the box. Numbers make their way in. Lays one off to Archer. Archer with the delivery into the back post. Alec Can is there. Nice and comfortable save for him as he gets his first touch on the ball. Played out the back quickly. Looking for the danger man up top. Romario Williams, he gets there. Just couldn't quite keep it in bounds, but that's just a spell of what Romario Williams is capable of. And
they'll be looking for him all night. They love his hold-up play, especially with these guys, these fast guys like Carlton and Joseph Samuel on the wings and more centrally. They have to look for his hold-up play, and then he can be creative, as we saw earlier in the season in the U.S. Open Cup play against the Charleston Battery. Romario knows how to find the back of the net as well.
Romario Williams, an absolute fan favorite here last year when he played for the Charleston Battery, scored 15 goals for the black and yellow. And of course, first met on the other side earlier this season when the 2 teams faced each other in Carolina Challenge Cup. So he's familiar playing against the Battery guys by now. It's Rittmeyer to the top of the box. Arambula lays it off to Archer. Switches across to fellow Trinidad and Tobago, Hackshaw. Hackshaw taking his space. Threads one through for Higashi. Kotaro Higashi enters his 2nd season with the Battery after coming through the open trials last season. Impressed Mike Anhauser during Carolina Challenge Cup after scoring a goal against Seattle Sounders and eventually winning Newcomer of the Year last year, and he has been on fire this season. So keep your eye on him tonight. Really uses his height to his advantage. Very agile at the top of the box. It's going to be Metcalf to get us back underway. The captain of ATL UTD2, one of the oldest players on the side, 26 years old. And too much, says the referee from Arambula.
I'm really noticing George Bellows play early on and just the sheer confidence that he has when it comes to getting the ball and asking for the ball. You don't see that from a whole lot of 16, 17-year-olds, but he's a confident guy, probably the best, I would say, player in his pool, in his age group. And, he's been out for a little while with a hip injury, but he's been training with the first team recently over the past couple weeks and looks to be back in full health after picking up a bit of a hip injury.
Well, you mentioned him being just 16 years old. 16 teenagers have featured for ATL UTD2 so far this season. Really give Scott Donnelly all the credit for bringing the youngsters up into the reserves And there's been quite a lot of changeover into the first team as well. We've just seen the first yellow card of the match goes to Patrick Okonkwo for that challenge on Bello.
Yeah, that seemed like a very high boot from Okonkwo.
Looks like Bello is going to be up and okay. The last thing he wants, just returning back from injury. Miles Robinson on your screen there. Romario Williams dropping back to make sure his teammate's okay. And it looks like it's going to be AJ Cochran to get us back underway.
Just a little friendly homegrown to homegrown foul.
Cochran spent the last 2 seasons with St. Louis of the USL and has started 17 of the 17 games he's appeared in this season. Really been a mainstay on the back line.
Yeah, we discussed this with Cochran and Metcalf earlier in the season, how they've really had to adjust to this kind of role. You know, before when they played in the USL, they were playing with teams that their main goal was to win, and that's not necessarily the main goal with Atlanta United too. They're looking to develop these young players that can eventually benefit the first team, and they've had to really take on this leadership role now more than ever.
We'll talk about how Atlanta's formation reflects the first team formation, making those transitions as seamless as possible when they get the call up on the ball. Miles Robinson being one of those perfect examples. 7 MLS appearances so far this season. Atlanta with the possession. Carlton looking to turn. Just in a bit of a tussle with Arambula. Out wide to Bello. ATL UTD2 switching the ball well in this early going. The Battery able to win back the possession.
Bello is looking for that forward run, and you'll see that a lot from the young left back. He is not afraid at all to get upfield when he has the opportunity to do so.
Metcalf into the middle. Castro sprays the ball back out wide. It's Bello. Bello with the options, but Atlanta very patient in the build-up.
It'll be interesting to see how well the Battery do on the counter, considering Swannison's size, and he doesn't have the pace that a guy like Gordon Wild or Atul Aguero would have, but it could potentially pose some problems for them.
Mike Anhauser with several key players on the bench tonight. The leading goal scorer in the USL, Atul Aguero, like you said, and the other Atlanta United loanee, Gordon Wild, available for selection tonight. But of course, after that midweek match, just having some well-deserved rest. It's Carlton. Takes space, has got the trio up top. Out wide to Vasquez. Vasquez leads right through. Now Wheeler, Minu in the middle.
And I noticed Scott Donnelly waving Andrew Carlton forward the moment he spinned off the defender. He wants to get him on the counter, and he knows that that's one of the best spots for Carlton is for him to create when there aren't too many defenders in his way.
And of course, Carlton coming into this match with confidence at an all-time high. Has just appeared in the MLS All-Star Homegrown game and has made his first start for Atlanta United very recently. It's been a great year for him. Here he is on the ball now. Takes his touches inside. Tracks across the middle of the field. Drops it back into the back line. Cochran and Robinson exchange. Metcalf works his way forward. Can they find the gaps into the middle? And ATL UTD2 just very happy to keep the possession. They're creeping their way forward, but in no rush as long as they can keep the ball. Metcalf to Vasquez. Bolt is on his tail.
Atlanta has been comfortable with maintaining possession so far up to this point, but it's important for them to not get into too much of a rut and to be too complacent with just having possession. I think that's been one of the bigger issues.
Metcalf into the back post, away by Archer.
This season for them, it's a little bit of complacency passing the ball back and forth, but they need to be able to move off the ball and find those attackers.
Well, we typically see the Battery's line of confrontation very high. They seem to be happy to sit in a little deeper than usual tonight. Okonkwo drops back to help defend, brings the Battery out the back. Out wide, it's Nico Rittmeyer. Can Rittmeyer open his legs? He's got Svantisson with him, drops one into the middle, and Metcalf reads it well. Nico Rittmeyer on fantastic form at the minute. The Savannah native, College of Charleston product, 2 goals and 2 assists on the season so far. And keep your eye on his pace tonight. Has really been creating a lot of opportunities for his teammates. Here comes Hackshaw. Into the middle. Angelo Kelly gets his 9th start tonight for the black and yellow, and of course a massive occasion. We mentioned it pre-game for Mike Anhauser. You might see some signs around the stadium as this match unfolds tonight. 25 years at the club. We're going to talk a lot more about that at halftime and see what some key folk in the soccer world have to say to Mike. Right now, Svanteson out wide to Bolt. Bolt into the back post. Rittmeyer's there, and Alec Can up. Svanteson trying to get his head on it. Ian Svanteson, 6'6", very dangerous aerially in the box.
Alec Can, 6'4", 6'5". Luckily, he was able to deal with that pretty comfortably.
Some big height in the box tonight. Bello on the far side, the 16-year-old up to Romario Williams. Williams and Taylor Mueller going back and forth. Can Williams lead in Samuel? And away, safety first by Archer. But already, you've just got to be so tight on Williams.
Williams understands these defenders. He understands how they move, what they want to stop him from doing. Being at a team for 2 seasons has its benefits, no doubt. And he knows these guys personally, but he's also trained with these guys just about every day for the past 2 seasons. So we're trying to slowly starting to see him come into the game very easily.
Carlton on the far side again, wins a throw-in for his side. Romario Williams hovering around the PK spot. We will all be keeping our eye on him tonight. Conquo looking for Kotaro Higashi in the middle. Won back by Castro. Robinson. Miles Robinson always looking for the easy pass, just so calm and collected on the ball. Into the middle, it's Wheeler Minu. And again, the visitors just taking their opportunity to spray the ball around for a bit of possession. Up for Samuel. Archer is there with the pressure. Can he deliver into the box? Well done by Leland Archer, who gets an applause from the home crowd.
Joseph Samuel looking for the foul there, but not much to it according to the ref.
Ground ball out the back from Cooper. It's Rittmeyer up to Svanteson. Svanteson for Okonkwo. Can he find Jay Bolt? Bolt on the near side. He's got 3 with him up top. Looking for the negative ball back. And the referee will give a goal kick. Right idea by Jay Bolt, just couldn't quite hold on to it.
Good defending from Jack Metcalf, veteran defending. Bolt had a bit of space after the skill move, but Metcalf was able to hold on and then earn the goal kick.
Fans, let me remind you that Select is the official soccer ball of the USL. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit www.selectsportsamerica.com and receive free shipping on orders over $50. Svanteson across, away by Cochran. Romario Williams making his run. And Archer, lofty ball forward. Again, Romario Williams just coming out of nowhere, putting the pressure on the young Trinidad and Tobagan. Mike Anhauser has found all the success since he reverted his formation into a 3-man backline, and it was against ATL UTD2 away, the first time that we saw this formation.
Yeah, it's an interesting formation, but it's a formation that I think bodes well for the kind of play that they want to have with the counter. You know, it's less possession oriented, but they don't really care about possession necessarily. So it's good on them, and it was good on Mike Anhauser to realize that that's the best formation for them.
Samuel looking for his options. Castro lays it back to Cochran. Robinson finds Vasquez. Well, to say it's a three-man back line, keep your eye on Neville Hackshaw. He likes to get forward into the attack. But the Battery's ability to just flip back into almost the five-man back line this season has been the absolute key, and to get numbers back behind the ball. But they're not afraid to send the full-backs forward. Cochran, the 25-year-old, him and Metcalf, the oldest on the team by quite a long way, considering other USL teams nowhere near have the same youth that ATL UTD2 have.
Oh no, absolutely not. I mean, at the end of the day, for most of these USL teams, the goal is to win. It's not necessarily to develop these youth players like most of these MLS expansion teams are trying to do. With that comes a lot of growing pains, obviously, for the developmental teams, but it comes to these other USL teams' benefit.
Hackshaw finds the feet of Higashi. Into the middle, it's Arambula. The Battery now starting to send numbers forward. Arambula with time and space on the ball goes back to Hackshaw. Vasquez has been on his heels all night so far in this early going. Forced back to Mueller.
Going back to the 3-5-2 a little bit for the Battery, that's an even tougher test for Atlanta United's youth and for their attack to break down a quality defense like they have, especially coming back when they do go into that five-man back line. It's much harder to find those outlets for any potential attacks that they might try to create.
And the Battery have been defensively sound this year. 11 clean sheets on the season, just one clean sheet behind leading the USL. Pittsburgh Riverhounds have 12 on the season. Not the same story for ATL UTD2 with just the one, but like you said, the development, and just if you look percentage-wise at the possession that this team has week in, week out, and the passes completed, it speaks a different story.
Yeah, Donnelly mentioned it before. They're one of the best passing teams in the USL, but also not a great defensive team in the USL. And it's one of those things where I talked about before, being a bit lackadaisical and a bit complacent when they do have possession, and eventually, they lose the ball. Charleston Battery counter, and then that was the case their first matchup.
Laurent Varga just having a word with Jack Metcalf on this near side for kicking the ball away. No damage done. We're back underway. It's Archer up to Rittmeyer. Beautiful conditions here in Charleston, South Carolina tonight. 83 degrees at kickoff and a breezy wind, but very humid down on the field. You have to take that into consideration, especially when these midweek games start to rack up. Hackshaw away from the back, looking for Svanterson. Away by Robinson. And Kelly wins the second ball.
Seems like both teams are still trying to find their feet. Too much of a battle in midfield for both sides. They haven't really been able to get on the counter all that much for the Battery, and Atlanta really hasn't been able to keep all that much possession.
It's just an example of the fullback getting forward. Leland Archer joining the attack. Arambula just slipping back to join the three-man back line. Robinson. Into the middle, Castro. Cochran, who actually has appeared for the Battery, 2 appearances on loan from Houston Dynamo, where he was drafted in 2014. The first round pick, has a wealth of USL experience that he can bring to the side.
Carlton a little frustrated that Vasquez didn't pass the ball back to him when he had the opportunity to.
Returns to sender, it's Vasquez looking for the back post, just overcooked. But Vasquez causing some problems down this flank in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, Vasquez is a different kind of winger. It's not your prototypical speedy, pacey winger. He's a very big guy, loves hold-up play. It's great to have that kind of that extra sort of oomph in the wing, so to speak, because it just brings a lot of different qualities that you're not used to from other wingers.
Lofty ball forward out the back by the Cuban veteran. It's Samuel for Williams. Can Williams find the space? He brings it to the top of the box, gets the strike away, and Cooper over the bar. Romario Williams gets his first shot off, and that was a good one.
Terrific left-footed hit from Romario. This has been coming on for a little bit now. He's really growing into the game, as I mentioned before, and it was a great save on Cooper's end.
Well, the Disnall Cooper really tested here by Romario Williams in the 24th minute. And the Battery just know how much danger Williams can bring, especially from the top of the box, having been on the same side of that all season last year. This is going to bring up the first corner kick of the game. Andrew Carlton tracks across to take it. Carlton has 1 goal so far this season for the reserve team. Carlton with the outswinger, back to the back post, and Hackshaw goes up for the aerial duel and a goal kick for Charleston. Disnall Cooper to bring us out of the back. Fans, the USL's official Twitter feed keeps you up to date with news, live game updates and highlights from around the league 24/7. Follow @USL on Twitter.
We've been talking about Andrew Carlton recently, and admittedly, he admits himself that he's struggled a little bit with the physicality of the USL up to this point, but he's slowly grown into it the more he's trained with the first team and the more appearances he's gotten with the reserve team. You can tell that his confidence is growing, and that's important to see, and that's one of the benefits of having a developmental team for these MLS teams.
Well, we saw Andrew Carlton and several of these players play at MUSC Health Stadium in pre-season during the Carolina Challenge Cup. Some great matches. Columbus Crew, Minnesota United, and of course Atlanta United and the Battery all played a round-robin style tournament, and always a great start to the season. Cooper takes his time out the back again, shoots one forward, this time looking for a Okonkwo. Rittmeyer with the second ball. The referee will give that in favor of the Battery, trying to take it quickly. And Laurent Varga to bring it back. That's going to be a yellow card for Castro for blocking the restart. And now Ryan Arambula over the dead ball.
That's what they call a professional yellow card. He was stopping the counterattack, which he knows that the Battery love to do, and took one for the team in that sense.
Ryan Arambula, the 24-year-old USC product, over the ball. Keep your eye on the height in the box. Good delivery. Archer's there, just couldn't get enough direction and pace on it. Lifts his hand up. Okonkwo on the ball, sorry.
Can asking his defenders who was marking him or who was supposed to mark Okonkwo. It was a very wide open header, and you never want to see a striker in your box with an open header, but luckily for them, they got away with that one.
Back underway in the 27th minute. Atlanta with most of the possession so far. Metcalf back to Robinson. Miles Robinson, another one who has got MLS appearances this year. The former Syracuse University second draft pick in the 2017 expansion draft. Really just has so much potential and it's growing leaps and bounds. Castro in the middle. Good touch as he finds Metcalf.
Castro only recently signed from the academy about a month ago. Donnelly just praised his patience in the midfield and really enjoys seeing the young player. It was nice to see him get this kind of opportunity with these other first-team guys, and now a chance for the latter.
Well, here we're seeing the pace of the Trinidad and Tobagan. Can Patrick Okonkwo find the back of the net? What a moment that was. You could hear the fans behind them. Neville Hackshaw opening up his legs, and a fantastic ball into Okonkwo, who was there with the diving header.
Oh, Okonkwo wanted that one. He wanted that one against his parent club, but yeah, that was a terrific cross to set him up. Just couldn't finish it.
Well, keep your eye on Neville Hackshaw. So much pace. and agile on the ball. Just got a glimpse there of what he's capable of. 150% into every challenge. And has really been a mainstay on Mike Anhauser's side. Just one of the 2 starters today that played midweek against the Rowdies. And has only missed 1 game so far this season for the Battery when he was on international duty with the Trinidad and Tobago international team. Here comes Jay Bolt. Okonkwo thirsty for the ball again. He finds Rittmeyer on the far side. There's numbers in the box. To Kelly. Can Kelly find a gap of space? Back to Bolt. Invites Higashi into the attack. Higashi past Vasquez into the box. Is anyone there? Okonkwo gets a tap on it. And no worries for Alec Khan that time.
Marking's been poor for ATL UTD2 to start this game. Okonkwo keeps getting closer and closer to a goal, but hasn't happened quite yet. Okonkwo, bit of a whiff for him.
All replays tonight brought to you by Baker Roofing. Castro brings ATL UTD2 out the back, but a great chance for the Battery. Robinson. Miles Robinson makes his 8th start for ATL UTD2 tonight. Bolt with the lofty ball. Safety first out of the back, taking no chances with the talent up top. Well, no movement on either bench as of yet. We'll keep you up to date with everything that happens just out of your screen. Romario Williams. Fancy footwork. Wheeler Aminu combines with Metcalf. This time it'll be Carlton. And Carlton find the quick throw for Vasquez. Gets the return. Does enough to find himself some space out wide to Bello. Rittmeyer's there and just interrupts the flight of the ball. Bello forced back. The Battery take the opportunity to step. Metcalf on this near side. For Williams, Hackshaw's on his toes. And they are not going to give Romario Williams a second on the ball to turn tonight in the back line.
Yeah, he's having a tough time finding space at the moment. Is doing his best to create with all the the dribbling and the skills that he can do, but when there's 2 or 3 defenders flying at you every time, it's difficult.
We'll stay with us at halftime. We're going to hear some congratulations message for head coach Mike Anhauser, who tonight is celebrating his 25th anniversary at the club. Joined the club as a player in 1994, played 6 seasons in the midfield before transitioning into a coaching role in 1999, and has just done unspeakable amounts for the club. He is Mr. Charleston Battery, and we are very grateful for him and all the time that he gives us here on the broadcast. We'll hopefully hear from him at the end of the first half and get his updates. Carlton at the top of the box, through to Samuel, and a Disnall Cooper comes forward to collect.
Just a bit too slow from Atlanta United too. You can see that they're about a half a second off and everything that they're trying to do in the attack, but again, it's a process trying to figure out how to get these guys that have been playing with the USL teams for a little while now, like Joseph Samuel, and then bringing Andrew Carlton in and just trying to find that connection.
One thing that is always difficult, but the team looked very cohesive tonight. 8 academy debuts so far throughout the season for ATL UTD2. And 7 first professional goals, 14 out of the 22 accounted for by those academy players. And that's quite an achievement in itself.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, but it can be expected from an MLS reserve team, especially an MLS reserve team that's an expansion team. Donnelly, of course, he might not be happy with the results on the field, but he's happy that the players that are seeing time with the reserves are also getting opportunities with the first team, and that academy players are also making appearances for the reserves as well.
Carlton invites Metcalf forward, who delivers one into the back post. Samuel is there, and the pressure on from Nico Rittmeyer, who does just enough. Goal kick, Charleston Battery. And just keep your eye on Taylor Mueller and Romario Williams tonight, going at it. Those two great friends off the field. Not so sure about tonight on the field, of course, going head to head. Fans, if you want key talking points from across the USL every week, tune into the Hat Trick with Kelsey Steele on Monday evenings at the USL's Instagram account to stay in the know with what's to know around the league. Calm from Can at the back. Castro, the 18-year-old Honduran, makes his 4th start tonight. An academy player that signed his contract on July 5th. He's really cemented himself well into the team.
Bello also frustrated, also wanted the ball back when he was making that run. Love Bello's confidence. I mean, it's crazy to see this from such a young player, but he knows exactly what he's good at, and at times he kind of demands that the team go along with what he's trying to do, and then it's good to see. It's not a bad thing to see at all from a 16-year-old.
Here he is on the ball, struggling to get the cross away, but like you said, 16 years old.
Incredible.
The youngest player on this side tonight. Of course, several teenagers though, and a Disnell Cooper from the back with the goal kick in the 36th minute. Well, if you're Scott Donnelly, you've got to be quite happy with how the team's performed in the first half so far.
They've held up quite well against a very experienced team, as I've mentioned, that the Battery are. You know, obviously these aren't the regular players for the Charleston Battery, but it's a team that just came together at Atlanta United for Atlanta United too, and then he'll be happy with this so far going into halftime if they can keep this scoreless.
Mike Anhauser, on the other hand, talks about how he wants to open teams up at home especially. They've picked up several draws this season, 10 draws on the season so far, but at home they like to open teams up and hit on the counter. I'm sure that's what the halftime talk will be about. Containing the forces of Atlanta United strikers well in this early going though. Here comes Rittmeyer. Svanterson's with him, runs into numbers, forced back to Arambula. Skips Kelly in the middle, it's Hackshaw. Finds the anchor. Kelly still has the ball. Can he find the slotted ball through to Svanterson? Looks like he's going to try and set himself up. Is it Nico Rittmeyer just wide of the post, but boy did he get some power on that.
Yeah, it looked like there was a bit of a miscommunication between Bello and Cochran on that left-hand side. Rittmeyer had a lot of time to get that, but again, luckily for Atlanta United too, they dodged another bullet.
Nico Rittmeyer with the outside foot gets the strike away, had all the power behind it, just wide of the target. All replays tonight brought to you by Baker Roofing. And still scoreless in the 37th minute here at MUSC Health Stadium. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match, wherever you are. Poppy Miller alongside Harris Krusic enjoying this matchup. The Charleston Battery have only lost one game at home so far this season, and it was the very first game of the year against FC Cincinnati, but have really dominated at home ever since. And ATL UTD2 will be looking to break that streak tonight. Metcalf, back to Robinson.
If there was ever a night for Atlanta United 2 to get their first road win of the season, it's probably a night where the Charleston Battery is fielding a lot of players that don't normally start for them.
Romario Williams shrugging off players as he opens his legs. Can he find the through ball to Vasquez? And Neville Hackshaw does enough at the top of the box. And now can the Battery find the counter-attack? Safety first from the home side as they look for the possession. Captain Taylor Mueller at the back, his 7th season with the Battery, ranks 4th in all-time appearances, just behind assistant coach Dusty Hudock, head coach on your screen there, Mike Anhauser. We've mentioned what a big night it is for him. Many friends and family in the stadium.
Yeah, just hearing a lot of things from Mike Anheuser, from other people.
Here comes Patrick Okonkwo in the box. Can he get the strike away? It's over the bar. Couldn't quite bring it down. He was one-on-one with Can, and he's going to want that one back. Yeah,
he's going to want a couple of these chances back. I mean, this is about as good of an opportunity as you can get, and it's difficult for Okonkwo at the moment. He's still looking for form, hasn't scored yet in the USL, scored 1 goal in the US Open Cup, but you know, he's trying to work it all out, and we can see that in full effect tonight.
He has got a lot of pace on him, and that is the last thing ATL UTD2 want. It's a one-on-one situation. Right now, though, it's the other end of the field. Mueller tracking back. See if he uses his experience with Carlton. Kelly into the middle. Ryan Arambula taking touches on the ball. Out to Rittmeyer. Gets the return. It's a good ball up to Bolt. Can Bolt exploit the space? Rittmeyer now just tracking across to this left-hand side. Into the box, Fonterson's there. Can Kotaro Higashi get a touch on it? The referee is going to call a PK on Kotaro Higashi. And now this is going to be interesting with the regular PK taker not on the field. Let's see who steps up and takes this.
Yeah, Miles Robinson, or excuse me, AJ Cochran just stuck a leg out. Higashi was able to get back by him pretty quickly, and then he made him pay.
Well, it looks like it's going to be Ian Svanteson to step up and take the PK. He's got 1 goal on the season so far. Romario Williams and Carlton tracking across for a drink, but it's going to be Svanteson against Can, taken quickly. It's Svanteson! Ian Svanteson puts the Charleston Battery on the board 5 minutes before half-time. 1-0 Charleston.
Something about Svanteson and playing against Atlanta United too. He's able to find the back of the net yet again.
Well, you've got to give all the credit to Kotaro Higashi for setting himself up in the box, forcing the foul. And cool, calm and collected from Ian Svanteson as he slots it home for the home side. And here again, we'll get another look at Kotaro Higashi in the box, right on the PK mark. And Svanteson, what a finish. Not easy to step up and take a PK at a 0-0 game.
No, especially when you're not a regular starter for your team, but he stepped up and just got Can guessing the completely wrong way and was able to finish.
Ian Svanteson with his 2nd goal of the season. All Battery goals brought to you by Baker Roofing. And with about just under 4 minutes left in the first half of regulation time, the Battery get themselves on the scoreboard. And can ATL UTD2 find the response?
It'll be tough for them. Atlanta United 2, 0-11-4 this season when they concede first, and 0-9-3 when they're trailing at the half. So let's see if they can find a goal back pretty quickly before halftime begins.
Neville Hackshaw on the ball. Sure, the Battery will be very happy to head into the locker room 1-0 up at the half. But this is the time when we've seen them really punish teams and carry on the force forward. Mueller and to Kelly. Williams puts the pressure on, forces the long ball. And that's defending from the top, isn't it, Harris? Just Romario Williams forcing the long ball and gaining the possession back for his side.
Yeah, and that's something you see from the first team is they love to press. That's Scott Donnelly, you know, as difficult as this season has been for the reserve team, you can see a lot of congruency and similarities between the first team and the reserve team, like the 4-3-3 and like the pressing. You can see it's clearly emphasized between both teams.
Bolt going up for the duel with Metcalf. Looked like he took a nasty knock to the back. The referee just going to have a word with Bolt, tell him to just calm down. Jay Bolt apologises and everybody is up and okay. Wheeler and Minu to get us back underway. Carlton out wide to Bello. Can ATL UTD2 find the response in the first half? Svanteson with the press on Castro. Fans, you can watch highlights from every game of the 2018 season and stay up to date with news from across the USL if you like USL on Facebook. Vasquez back to Metcalf, looking to switch across the field out wide to Bello.
You can see just a bit of a trend out on the wings for Atlanta United too. They're looking for that connecting play between Carlton or Joseph Samuel and George Bello, the fullbacks, and centrally they're looking for that connection on the wing to see if they can get that pass and go, but they haven't been able to connect just yet.
Robinson, good pressure at the back from Hackshaw a second ago, really coming through. Just 22 years old, Trinidad and Tobago is in his third season with the Battery. You can hear the chant for Oggy below us, and I know that must bring a smile to Mike Anhauser's face. A very special night for him. There's the Battery fans. And what a moment this is for the Charleston Battery in history as one of the oldest clubs in the USL.
This is amazing. We love to see things like this. Everybody that I've asked about Coach Mike Anhauser, they've always talked about the person first rather than the soccer coach, and you can see that through the community and through the community work that he's been able to do over a quarter of a century, literally a quarter of a century. Just what Charleston means to him and what he means to Charleston.
You're absolutely right. You just couldn't ask for a better leader of the club. So many people have so many great things to say about him, and we're going to get to see those at halftime. Right now it's Carlton over the ball, whips one into the back post. Svanteson's there and wins the free kick. Too much pressure from Cochran. But back to Mike Anhauser. What a moment that just was. Well, we're hearing there's going to be just the 1 minute of added time, so we are almost there, and then we're going to hopefully hear from the man himself heading into the locker room as we conclude the first half here at MUSC Health Stadium. The referee has blown the whistle, so the home side are going to head into the locker room 1-0 up at the half. And let's see if we can check in with head coach Mike Anhauser below us. He's just coming across and putting his headset on. There's the goal scorer, Ian Svanteson, on your screen. Very calm and collected over the PK. Mike Anhauser's downstairs. Well, Mike, a big match for several reasons. 9 changes to the lineup and heading into the locker room. 1-0 up at the half. What's your thoughts on the first half? If you can concentrate with all the love in the stands tonight. Can you hear us, Mike? Mike, well, with a lot of love in the stands tonight, back to the game. 9 changes to the lineup. Let's see if we can get your thoughts on the first half. Looks like we're just having a bit of audio difficulty down on the field. Mike Anhauser below us. Let's see if we can hear his thoughts from the first half. If we can see. Well, we're just going to see. We'll hopefully get his thoughts ready for the second half. And that's going to be all. We'll bring you what he has to say as we come back into the match for tonight's game. The Charleston Battery, though, heading into the locker room, like we said, 1-0 up. It was a penalty kick that was the difference. A big night for the man down there. We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll hear from all the people that have to congratulate Mike Anhauser on his 25th anniversary. Stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
Congratulations, Augie, on 25 years of working with the Charleston Battery. You've done a first-class job for the organization. It was a pleasure playing for you, and it was also a pleasure coaching with you in 2014. All the best.
Mike Anheuser is a tremendous person, first of all. I've enjoyed working with him for 25 years. He is a great, great human being. You know, my life has been made better by my friendship with Coach Augie. He's tremendous.
Hi, this is Todd Yeagley at Indiana University. We want to congratulate on all our alumni, Mike Anheuser on 25 years with the Charleston Battery. Phenomenal accomplishment, and I was fortunate enough to play with him when I was a freshman, and one of the best captains I've ever been around. It's great to see him have so much success, and great job, Mike.
Congratulations, Coach Anheuser. 25 years. Wow. I can remember back in 1999 when we first met on Stony Field. I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to play for you and also be a part of your staff. I also want to thank you for all you've done for soccer and for the club. All the best, Coach.
Hey, Augs, congrats on the 25 years of service at the club. What an incredible achievement.
Yeah, congrats, Augs. You've been there from day one and built the club from the ground up, so congratulations.
Make sure to make sure.
Hey, Coach. Just want to take the time out to congratulate you on 25 years with the Charleston Battery. You've done so much for the club and for players past and present. And on your special night, I just want to take the time out to give you a special shout out on what a tremendous job you've done. Good luck for the rest of the season and all the best going forward. Thank you.
Augie, congratulations on 25 years with the club. It's a very special achievement, and I'm glad I was able to be a part of it for 7 years. So happy I was able to call you coach and learn from you. Now I'm really happy that I can call you a friend. Congratulations, man.
Hey, Mike. I want to congratulate you for this 25 years in Charleston Battery. Also, I want to thank you for believing in me and giving me the opportunity to play for you. And I hope you can stay for many more years at the club.
I just want to thank you for everything you did for me while I was at the Battery, and your family was so welcoming, and you've made this franchise what it is today. You, above everybody, have absolutely put this franchise on the map.
The Battery's reputation as a North American powerhouse in soccer is largely due to the countless hours that you've put in and your commitment to the game. So on behalf of everybody, I simply say to you, thank you. Now let's go out there and win another championship.
Mike Anheuser, you're a living Charleston Battery legend. You are the best in the business, and we're so lucky that we've had you to guide this club for the last 25 years. You're the boss of the Charleston Battery, and I'm so proud of everything that you've achieved for us. More than anything, though, I want you to get us that 5th star. You can do it. Enjoy this moment with your family. I love you, mate. Go Battery.
Congratulations, Mike, on this great milestone, 25 years at the Battery. Player, coach, general manager, and everything in between. From all of us here at the USL, wishing you the best of luck for the rest of the season and for everything you do in your career beyond.
Congratulations, Dad, and thanks for being there for me all this 12 years, and thanks for being my coach.
kept that out.
Second time, and it's blocked.
Wow, what a save from Wazinski there.
And another save for Lopez. Estrada, save, Fettelson.
Nachimpong, left-footed ball, saved.
Starikov, saved, Ranjit Singh. Spark the counterattack the other way. Christian Duke couldn't get there, great move. T2 on the move, it's a 2-on-1. Still with it, T2 all the way, oh my goodness.
To free up Sam Hamilton, and now speaking of freeing up, here's Shane Malcolm. Malcolm with the left foot scores!
What a tremendous goal from Shane Malcolm, absolutely beautiful.
Jeb looking to work some space, but Jeb's gonna give it a goal! Beyond the Jeb with his 4th goal of the season, and it's an absolute beauty.
Another chance, and San Antonio FC delivers!
The Desmond will send it across. Adi on the header, and Pickens makes the save. And again, it's a teasing ball towards the back post, and Ferrigno somehow, some way, tips it over the bar. Troyer! Oh, what a spectacular save by McGuire.
Mohamed, no.
Oh! Danny Lynn, great save. 5 players edge of the Tampa Bay penalty area, and oh, what a goal. And it's Nana Adekora. Pushing upfield. Over the top by Venegas. And it's in for Indy. McInerney on the doorstep.
Well played into the box for Asante, knocks it down, and it's in the net.
Burt crosses this one, far side for Uso, into the back of the net!
Nice little touch.
To Francois, drives
there it is!
It's onside of the house, have the lead.
Not down, Illich stabs it back, Davis!
Welcome back to MUSC Health Stadium. It's halftime here, the Charleston Battery hosting ATL UTD2. And we've just seen all those lovely messages for head coach Mike Anhauser, who's celebrating his 25th anniversary at the club. There he is with former Charleston Battery president Andrew Bell and, of course, captain Taylor Mueller. He's just had a lovely moment out on the field with all his closest friends and family. And we've just seen the video from all the people that mean the most to him. So congratulations again, Mike Anhauser. What an achievement. And you are just so loved at the club and by everybody. But now it's time for second half action here from Charleston, South Carolina. It was Ian Svanteson, the difference in the first half, with slotting the PK home past Alec Can. He scored the first time these two teams met here earlier on this season at Coolray Field. Ian Svanteson with 1 goal, and Atlanta United Loney Gordon Wild, who's on the bench tonight, got the other 2. And now the question is, Harris, can ATL UTD2 find the response?
Yeah, I think that's been the question all season. I don't think Scott Donnelly will be too disappointed with the first half. Again, it's been the same theme all season. You know, the passing, the half chances are there. Romario Williams had a good shot. We see a foul here on Okonkwo. But there's just a bit of a connection issue in that final third, and I think that's what he's going to be preaching to the guys really this entire half, and I'm sure that's what the preaching was in the locker room.
Well, we're going to have a set-piece opportunity in the early going of the second half. It's going to be Ryan Aramula over the dead ball. And the height has made its way into the box. Leland Archer, Taylor Mueller, and of course, Ian Svanteson, 6'6" in the box. And we've had 1 substitution at the half. Bellows come off and Hernandez has made his way in. And there's confirmation of that substitution. Good ball into the back post, away, and no problem there because the referee has given a free kick. So 1 substitution at the half. And it's the Venezuelan that's made his way in for Bello.
Yeah, for those who aren't aware, Atlanta United 2 is very, very much into the sports science part of their sports science aspect of their team. And I'm sure he got word from the head of sports science, Ryan Alexander, that George Bello, 1 half was enough for him. He's recently come back from an injury, and he just got his feet under him, and they felt that enough was enough, and he got subbed off.
And of course, we mentioned in the first half, Bello, just 16 years of age, a homegrown player, has been training with the first team and has been on the bench for the first team in the last couple of matches.
Yeah, he's really enjoyed working with the first team. The first team for Atlanta United has dealt with a few injuries at the fullback position. Mikey Ambrose going down, Sal Zizou going down as well. So they've had some injuries on the fullback side, and that's why we've seen Bello get some opportunities with the first team. Hasn't made an appearance yet, but we could very well see him shortly.
Vasquez into the middle of the park. Castro switches flanks. Jack Metcalf on the far side, plays one into the middle. Romario Williams lays it off. Could this be a chance? Away by Bolt. And now Okonkwo can stretch his legs. He's got Svanteson with him. Safety first, going back to Kotaro Higashi.
You got to love that build-up play from Atlanta United, too. And give credit to them. They've had zero fear against Charleston Battery, a team that, although there's a lot of changes to this lineup, they're still one of the better teams in the USL. Atlanta United, too, is going to play how they play, regardless of who they're up against. And then that's a credit to them and a credit to Donnelly for instituting that kind of work ethic and that kind of mentality.
Well, the first half is what we could have expected. 65% possession goes to ATL UTD2. But like we mentioned in the first half, that is often the case for the visitors against the Battery, who tend to hit on the counter-attack. And of course, Atlanta with a very high possession over the course of the season. Williams for Samuel. Captain Taylor Mueller uses his experience, shields it out of play and wins the throw for the home side. Neville Hackshaw to track across and take it. A big thank you to all the Five Stripes fans that have made their way to Charleston, South Carolina for this match. and we welcome you into the broadcast wherever you are. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match. Hackshaw with the long throw up the wing. Out of bounds, and now it'll go the other way. Quickly in. Wheeler Aminu. Hernandez gets his first touches on the ball, the Venezuelan. The pressure is there from Okonkwo. Now Arambula straight through the middle. Can he find the ball through? Svanteson for Okonkwo. Vasquez on his heels. Good stepping from the visitors.
Hernandez trying to find his way in the game. Just came back from international duty with the Venezuelan U20 national team.
A lot of internationals feature on the field tonight for both sides. That's going to be a free kick. Svanteson won it, but again, well, this time it looks like it might be Rittmeyer to take it. Scott Donnelly on your screens there. And they are going to bring them back and make them restart that. The referee just having a word with Castro in the middle of the park. The referee for tonight's game, Laurent Varga.
Yeah, Castro already on 1 yellow. The ref, I'm sure, is telling him, no more silly fouls. Don't, be cautious.
Kelly into the box. No problem out of the back from Cochran. Hernandez lays one inside. The switch is on. Metcalf takes his space. Carlton in the middle. Just runs into a bit of traffic, but finds Samuel.
And that's something that Carlton has done a really good job of adjusting to in the USL. Is he's much more understanding of when defenders and midfielders are trying to come at him and try to take the ball away from him, how much physicality is about to come his way. He's done a very good job of adjusting to that and continuing the dribble.
Throw in taken quickly. Vasquez drops one back into the middle. Oh, below me, I'm seeing somebody from the visitors stripping up into his jersey for tonight, having final words with Scott Donnelly. It looks like it's going to be Gallagher. So let's keep our eye as to when that substitution happens.
Gallagher at Len United 2's leading goal scorer.
Hernandez out wide to Vasquez. Good 1-2 play. Just a bit too much sauce on it on this near side. I said Gallagher with 6 goals on the season so far. 10 different ATL UTD2 players, though, have got on the score sheet. Let's see if he can find the response that Scott Donnelly will be looking for. Makes his 20th appearance tonight. Started 17 of those. And the referee looks like he's going to allow that substitution to happen. And we'll see. It's going to be Vasquez to make way for Gallagher.
Yeah, like for like switch there. You can see Gallagher coming on the left. He's done a very good job this season of taking the space that's been given to him on the left and creating opportunities.
Here he is, the Irishman on your screen now. Has got 6 goals on the season so far. Like we mentioned, 2 right foot, 2 left foot, and 2 head. He can score them all types of goals. Let's keep our eye on him, working with Romario Williams up top tonight. Andrew Carlton on the ball. Drops one out wide. Metcalf gets forward. Samuel. Can he deliver into the box? Yes, he can. And it's away by Nico Rittmeyer. Okonkwo looking to use his body strength. Wins the challenge as Gallagher gets his first touches on the ball.
Nice to see Gallagher's not afraid of the contact. He's another player that's just coming back from injury. Picked up a mild concussion earlier this month, but should be fine.
Gallagher, a familiar face for the Battery. He played 20 minutes against the Black and Yellow in pre-season in Carolina Challenge Cup with the first team here. Let's see if he can find the back of the net tonight. Arambula wins the ball in the middle. the Japanese veteran Kotaro Higashi out wide. Bolt waiting for options, delivers one into the box. Fonterson drops it through to Okonkwo, and that one is offside. Great idea by the Battery though.
Swanson doing incredibly well to use his size and bring that ball down. It's just unfortunate he was a step too early.
Swanson knocking on all the doors tonight, the lone striker. And of course, keep your eye on the trio up top and the movement between them switching sides. Romario Williams, on the other hand, still hanging on the last defender, which is, of course, Captain Taylor Mueller. Cochran takes his space. Looking for Williams. Can Williams find his way between the two defenders? Good play from the Trinidad and Tobago Leland Archer. Lofty ball out the back.
I like the idea from Cochran. It's something new that we haven't seen yet. Those long balls over to Romario Williams. Just, again, Romario did a good job of creating space and then running off the ball to try and make something happen.
Wheeler Aminu across the back line. Robinson now on it. 55 minutes played here in Charleston, South Carolina. The Battery leading 1-0. If you're just joining us, it was Ian Svanterson with the PK. Poppy Miller alongside Harris Kusic. Thank you for joining us for tonight's match, wherever you are. Arambula in the middle of the park finds Rittmeyer out wide. Good tracking back on this near side by Gallagher, but Rittmeyer still taking his space. Now delivers one, looking for Okonkwo, and just unlucky there. You can see the applause from Okonkwo. Another great idea, just took the wrong bounce if you're the home side.
I think looking from an Atlanta United 2 perspective and just witnessing what Okonkwo has been able to do with the Battery, I think they'll be rather impressed. Obviously, he hasn't had he just hasn't had his shooting boots. That's the only way to put it. But I think they'll like what he's been able to do and the productivity that he's had.
It's into the box. Samuel's there, runs straight through, and Higashi can collect. That was half a chance for the visitors. The danger isn't over. Castro finds Carlton, and that takes a deflection. Cooper stops it going out for a corner. But back to your point, Harris, sorry.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I just think that Okonkwo has, he's done well. He's been involved with the Charleston Battery attack. It's tough for a guy that hasn't gotten 2 consistent minutes.
Carlton takes the strike.
2 consistent minutes for the Battery this season, but I think overall he's involved himself, and the shooting will come eventually.
Another one that's on top form for Atlanta, but maybe not in the same uniform. It's Gordon Wild, who's on the bench for the Battery tonight. 6 goals on the season so far and 3 assists. He is having a great year. Let's see if we can expect him to come on tonight to play against his parent club for the 2nd time this season. Of course, both the Atlanta United loanees for the Battery were unavailable for selection for the Open Cup. So this is the 2nd time they have faced them this season. Carlton in the middle of the park. Yeah. Restarts quickly.
Donnelly would certainly love to see Gordon Wild come out here. 6 goals and 3 assists, just 22 appearances for the Charleston Battery.
He is on superb form. Just 22-year-old, former University of Maryland. Gallagher, trying to keep it inbounds on the near side, and that'll be a throw-in for the Charleston Battery. Fans, the USL's official Instagram account has highlights, photography, and interactive content with the league's players. Get it all at Instagram.com/USL Soccer. Svanterson in the mix, but it's Hernandez that comes out on top. Samuel takes a touch and looking to get the strike away. Just didn't quite make the right connection on the ball.
We also have Samuel looking for glory there.
Going to bring up a goal kick for the Battery. The Cuban veteran gets us back underway. We mentioned it in the first half, but if Additional Cooper can get the clean sheet tonight, then he will reach 40 clean sheets over his USL career, which no goalkeeper has done as of yet. So quite an achievement for Additional Cooper if the scoreline is to remain the same.
Quite a good achievement, but also quite an interesting move from Mike Annhauser earlier in the season to replace him with Joe Kuzminski, who started for him ever since up until this match.
It was against ATL UTD2 that Kuzminski got his first start. That's a good ball into the box. Samuel's there at the back post. Can he refeed it? He's got numbers in the box. Goes back to Metcalf. Takes a positive touch. The return ball is there, nicely sprayed around the field. Wheeler Aminu for Williams. Williams not a second on the ball this entire game as of yet. He's managed to get one great strike off, forcing Cooper to make a fantastic save. Other than that, the battery just not giving him a second. Cochran. Out wide, it's Hernandez. Into the middle. Looking for the return ball. Is it there? It was straight across the box. Nobody on the end of it. But the danger isn't over. Again, refed into the battery. This time, Additional Cooper goes up with the punch and does just enough. That'll be a goal kick, but Josef Samuel knocking on the door.
That was really good from Atlanta United, too. Love the overlapping run from Jose Hernandez to get that ball into the front of the goal. Fortunately, no one was there, but I like how active Josef Samuel has been since he switched over to the right side rather than the left in the first half. I think he's been much more involved already.
Well, as you just saw on your screens, there's some movement from the battery bench, who were all down below us getting warmed up. Here comes Kotaro Higashi, out wide to Svanteson. Okonkwo is in the box. Svanteson for Aramura at the top of the box. Didn't quite see it coming, and now the counter-attack could be on at the other end. And the captain, Taylor Mueller, takes a step past Williams and returns the ball into the other half. Here comes Arambula. Out wide. Gets the return from Bolt. ATL UTD2 sitting back in defensive shape. Hackshaw switches the flanks. Brings it out to fellow Trinidad and Tobago international. And that is just a bit of a lazy foul from Andrew Carlton. The referee just having a word with him on your screens.
Yeah.
Just a bit of frustration, maybe.
Maybe some tired legs as well. Just stuck a leg out there and hoped to catch the ball, but didn't happen.
No damage done. Leland Archer to get us back underway. It's Josef Samuel that's down on the far side, though. And this is just going to bring up a quick chance for all players to take on board a bit of fluid. A very, very warm and humid night here in Charleston, South Carolina. And there's the movement on the battery bench we were talking about. Tal Brian Anunga has started every single game for the battery this season, other than tonight. Will we see him come on in the late going of this match? We will wait and find out. And of course, Atlanta United 2 jogging back and taking on board some fluid. It's Romario Williams below us, just having a word with Scott Donnelly. And let's hope Josef Samuel is okay. The battery fans on your screen there, absolutely thrilled to be here for Mike Annhauser's anniversary. You could hear the Oggy chants in the first half. There it is, Mike Annhauser 13 on your screen, and what a night it's been for him. And we apologize for not being able to get his thoughts from the first half, but we will catch up with him after the match on this special night. If the battery get the win tonight, it'll be their Mike Annhauser's 199th win during his tenure here, and another fantastic achievement. Battery supporters section there on the other end. We've got some Five Stripes fans filling in. Ian Svanteson, the goal scorer, taking a little stretch. Well, it looks like Josef Samuel is up and okay. Whether he is going to continue, that's another story, because we can see Kunga getting his jersey on below us. So another like-for-like swap, if that's the case.
Yeah, it appears to be. I expect Kunga to come in on the right wing. Hopefully Joseph Samuel's all right. He's been dealing with he's been out a few different matches for ATL UTD2 this season, so hopefully this isn't anything long term and it's just a bit of a precaution to take him out.
So that is going to be the change. It's going to be Joseph Samuel to make way for Lagos Kunga. Another familiar face for the Charleston Battery. Kunga has made 2 appearances for the Black and Yellow last season, and so far for ATL UTD2 has 2 assists and 1 goal. Makes his 19th appearance tonight. But right now, it's Ryan Arambula over the dead ball, and this could be a chance for the Battery. Again, the height is in the box, so keep your eye on that. This time, though, Archer staying back, this time into the PK spot. No worries from the Atlanta back line. As it runs all the way back to the Battery back line, Captain Taylor Mueller.
Look for Lagos Kunga to bring a much more technical game rather than Joseph Samuel. He's probably one of the best dribblers on the team.
Here comes Rittmeyer into the box, away at the near post. And he's going to get his first touches on the ball, sending Romario Williams forward. Romario Williams almost does enough to keep that in bounds. Very, very speedy legs. Well, if you're a Battery fan, you're going to be absolutely delighted at the view that we just got. The Battery and USL leading goal scorer, Tula Guerra, putting his shirt on for Mike Anhauser Blowers. And he has got 2 assists and 12 goals on the season so far. Let's see who he's going to come in for. But I can tell you the Battery fans are going to be thrilled. Here comes Patrick Okonkwo, leading Bolt into the attack. Has Bolt got the legs to get there? Yes, he has. Let's see if he can deliver into the box. Can't get one in, but he does enough to win a corner. And the referee is going to allow this substitution to happen. And now we are going to see Tula Guerra make his way on for the Battery. Mike Anhauser Blowers on your screen, just dishing his orders out to his team. Maybe a few substitutions, a few changes rather. And it's going to be Ian Svanterson, the goal scorer, to make way for Tula Guerra.
Well, if Atlanta United wasn't already concerned with being 1-0 down, here comes the leading goal scorer in the USL for you.
The Trinidad and Tobago international makes his way on the field. Romario Williams, of all people, knows the dangers that he can present. Those two were the dynamic duo of the Battery last season, absolutely unstoppable, but tonight they're going to be on opposing sides. And Tula Guerra straight into the box. Arambula with the lofty delivery to the back post. Okonkwo trying to keep it in bounds, appealing for a corner. And he has got just that second corner kick coming up for the Battery. Again, Ryan Arambula been busy taking these dead balls tonight. He drops across, and this time it's going to be an outswinger from this near side. It's Ryan Arambula over the ball. A solid delivery in, away at the back. And it's going to be Kunga to chase. Keeps it in bounds. Bolt with the sliding challenge. The fans love that one. And Bolt looking for Guerra. It's Guerra in the box. And ATL UTD2 taking no chances. Numbers is the key for safety here.
Guerra is able to bring a holding prowess to his game that we're used to seeing this whole time, but he's also been able to really add some creative dribbling and whatnot since Romario Williams has left. And now since he's been solely up there, he's been able to do a lot more. So it's obviously Charleston Battery fans were disappointed to see Romario Williams leave, but Guerra's really grown as a player since he's left.
Guerra had 6 goals last season for the Battery, but really it was setting up Romario Williams that was the key to his play. But this year, he is the king of Charleston with 12 goals on the season and player of the month for the USL. Well, that's a dangerous ball back. Romario Williams almost punished them for that one. And Disnall Cooper stepping forward to get the head back from Archer. We're away, and now it's Hackshaw on the far side. Metcalf with the pressure, and Bolt does just enough. Fans, you can get an inside look at life and on and off the field from a player's perspective every Wednesday evening as the latest edition from the pitch at uslsoccer.com. Lofty ball up looking for Guerra. No worries for Miles Robinson. Out the back to Hernandez. And it's Rittmeyer to interrupt the flight of the ball. Well, with about 20 minutes to go, Harris, what's got to be the key for the visitors to get back on the score sheet?
Get Kunga involved. I think that's a big one.
Here comes Williams. It's a through ball to Carlton and well read by Cooper. Offside, regardless.
He's had the chemistry with Andrew Carlton for a couple of years now while they were together in the academy. Lean heavily on him because his dribbling is enough, I believe, to get through Bolt. Bolt's done well defending him so far, but I think his creativity is going to be where it's at, and just his crossing ability to get inside the box and look for Omario, I think, will be big as well.
Just 19 years old, Lagos Kunga, the U.S. Youth International, a homegrown player for Atlanta United. Let's see what he can produce. The final 20 of tonight's match. Cooper taking his time to get us back underway out the back. And it's turned in the middle. Here comes Wheeler Aminu out wide. Gallagher fighting with Rittmeyer. Archer comes across and clears from the back to Laguerra on the heels of Cochran. Well, the press is there from Atlanta. Robinson out wide to Metcalf. Into the middle. It's Kunga looking, assessing his options. Carlton trying to create something at the top of the box. Kelly gets the touch on it, does just enough. Hernandez for Carlton. Can Carlton get the strike away? Couldn't quite get over the ball, but found himself a pocket of space at the top of the box.
And that's just a bit of what is exciting Atlanta United fans and their fan base is that little skill move that you see there. I mean, we've seen highlight videos on YouTube of countless YouTube videos of Andrew Carlton doing something similar like that. Now it's just that finishing product and being able to put it all together.
The scoreline remains the same in the 72nd minute. 1-0 Charleston Battery. It was Fonterson with the PK just 5 minutes before the teams left for half-time. Laurent Varga just bringing the visitors back. You can hear the shouts for happy birthday. I'm guessing that's for Mike Anhauser as well. What a week it's been for him. His birthday's on Monday, Coach of the Month, and of course, celebrating his 25th anniversary tonight, looking for his 199th win for the Battery.
Atlanta United, too, going to be limited on options off the bench now that they no longer have any subs. Have you already used all three? But let's see what these guys on the field can create for them.
Carlton again looking for the space at the top of the box. This time he does enough to win a corner, and he really has got a spring in his step tonight. He's been everywhere on the field. Here he is again. He's looking to get that buzz in the players, and he is going to take the corner from the far side. It's going to be an out swinger. Keep your eye at the top of the box. Arambula just cutting off the short option. Andrew Carlton with the delivery. It's a good ball in, and nobody on a Disnall Cooper who can pull it out nice and comfortably. Hackshaw almost runs into trouble, gets it off his feet. It's Bolt. frustration. And Hernandez into the middle. Kunga returns to sender. Cochran at the back. Switches for Robinson. Work fully across the back line. Now Wheeler, Aminu. It's one of the things Atlanta United too have done well tonight is switching those flanks. Really pressing down either side. They've done enough to win a corner. Again, it's Andrew Carlton to track across to take it. Scott Donnelly on your screen below us, just feeding a ball in.
Feeding a ball into Romario Williams, that's for sure. I feel like they've been looking for him all night, really, but it's just not there yet. And I might sound like a broken record at this point, but just that end product hasn't been there for Atlanta United yet.
It's going to be Andrew Carlton with the in-swinger from this near side. Again, a good ball into the back post. This time it's Hackshaw that's there and away by Rittmeyer. Can they recycle? Metcalf puts it back in the mix, looking for Williams. Archer over the top. Okonkwo's there. He's got Guerra with him. Can Okonkwo get it off quick enough? Bit of frustration from Atula Guerra, who had all the space in the world. Again, that was a perfect example of the Battery wanting to hit on the counter.
Good work from Kunga. Being able to press and then really staking his claim in this match since he's come on.
He really has. Wheeler, Aminu been the cog in the middle of the park with Castro. Hernandez looking for space on this near side. Williams working with Carlton. Now this could be a chance. It's Romario Williams. Can he find the space? Send it out wide to Metcalf, who's there with the delivery. Again, Carlton's on the ball. And just too much on it, says the referee, who's going to give a free kick to the Battery.
Van Schaik coming on, looking to solidify that defense for the Battery.
Jared Van Schaik, an absolute veteran for Mike Anhauser's side below us. Really a defensive midfielder who also played midweek in Tampa. And he will come out and close the game for Mike Anhauser's side. And out comes Jay Bolt, who's put in an absolutely solid shift tonight, working down the flank. And again, a good substitution for Mike Anhauser, a very defensive mid, Jared Van Schaik. Van Schaik leads the Battery, though, with 3 assists on the season. He is not afraid to join the trio up top, as you can see. Okonkwo dropping back into the middle. Guerra. Carlton can pick it up. Now this could be a chance. Into the box. Gallagher is there. Gallagher looking for the delivery, and Rittmeyer takes the deflection. It's going to be a corner for Atlanta. Taken quickly, a throw-in, into the middle of the park. Wheeler Aminu. We've got to say Atlanta United too, with a spring in their step, Harris.
Yeah, overall, I think their game plan hasn't been a bad one against the Battery. I think they've done what they've wanted. They've maintained possession. Charleston Battery haven't had a ton of counters, or at least quality counters that they could really capitalize on. But again, it's a testament to a veteran team like the Battery that can find ways to win. And it may have been a penalty, but they're up 1-0, and then it's their first goal or their only goal in the past 3 matches. But the Battery have found ways to get points, and then it hasn't been the case for Atlanta United too this season. Well,
we're seeing a break because it's Romario Williams that's down on the far side. The challenge was from Hackshaw. Everybody taking the opportunity to get some fluid on board below us. Head coach Mike Anhauser on your screen there. Big night for him. Looks like Romario Williams is up and okay. Exchanging with Neville Hackshaw. I'm sure there's a bit of banter going on between him and the back line.
He's just asking him where they're going to eat afterwards.
Looks like Hackshaw's in better spirits. Romario Williams seems to be in a bit of pain, but like you said, Scott Donnelly has used all 3 substitutions. So let's see if he can carry on the match. Not an ideal situation, though, for Atlanta.
No, I mean, we already mentioned no more subs for them. Your starting striker is hobbling a bit. You need a goal late. Let's see how Romario does.
Looks like he's up and okay, just walking it off. We'll see if we can get a replay at that collision. Right now, Van Schaik bringing the Battery out their own half. Battery just really struggling to get Atula Guerra involved in the match as he joins the trio up top. And here we go, let's have a look at this. Looked like it was just a step through on his ankle, a painful one. And we'll hope that Romario Williams is okay.
Yeah, that was probably a foul, but it's an easy one to miss from refs. Romario obviously won't be happy about it, but it happens.
Back underway with just over 10 minutes left to play here at MUSC Health Stadium, and whatever the referee adds on for additional time. Hernandez looking for Gallagher. Takes a step inside, blaze one out. This could be a chance. Archer using his body strength to drop back. The referee waving play on. And this time it's going to be a goal kick for the Battery. Good use of body strength from the Trinidad and Tobagan Leland Archer.
Yeah, I mean, ATL UTD2 is trying to get as creative as they can, and then they're trying to get everybody involved, it seems like, in the attack, but Charleston Battery are holding strong right now on the defensive side.
The Charleston Battery can get the win tonight. They'll extend their unbeaten streak to 11. And we'll see how the Eastern Conference unfolds when all matches have been complete today. Very tight at the top of the East at the minute. The Battery tied on points in second place with Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Of course, Atlanta United desperate for those points, but like we mentioned in the first half, for them, really about the player development and, of course, feeding the first MLS team. Van Schaik back to Higashi. The Battery just looking for a spell of possession as the clock ticks on. Hernandez does enough. And now Cochran. Into the middle of the park. Wheeler Aminu lays one out wide. Metcalf really getting forward into the attack in this late going. A turnover in the middle of the park. Finds Guerra. Can Guerra get round Robinson? Guerra is up and the referee is going to bring it back. Just too much from Miles Robinson on Atula Guerra. But we mentioned it in the first half, and that's a professional foul again if we've ever seen one.
Yeah. I mean, that's the veteran instincts of the Battery coming into play. They understand that they don't want to get Atlanta and their creative players on the counter. Don't want to give them any sort of countering opportunities, especially this late in the game. It's a smart foul.
Well, just on your screens below, Gordon Wild is ready to come into the match. And a massive threat for Atlanta United too. Gordon Wild with 6 goals on the season so far and 3 assists. He scored 2 of those goals against ATL UTD2 at Coolray Field earlier this year, and off comes one Atlanta United loanee in exchange for another. It's Patrick Okonkwo making way for Gordon Wild.
I think Okonkwo put in a solid shift today. It didn't work out for him. He wasn't able to score his goal, his debut goal for the USL side of things, but luckily, Atlanta United 2 is able to see Gordon Wild, and he definitely showed out the first matchup earlier in the season. Let's see if he finds another one before this night ends.
Well, 7 minutes left of regular time to play. The substitutions are in, and it's Gordon Wild to make way for Okonkwo. Let's see how he links up with Atula Guerra up top. And the Battery fans will be very excited for that substitution. But again, Patrick Okonkwo with an absolutely solid night and has put in a great shift for the Battery. Rittmeyer leaves it for Archer.
Wheeler Aminu hit the fence hard while it was coming out of bounds, but he appears to be shaking it off.
Just a bit of frustration in the late going. Gordon Wild gets his first touches on the ball. Atula Guerra is there with the press on Can. Nice and composed out of the back. Alec Can, another one that has spent time with the first team, made both starts for the Open Cup with Atlanta United, and another familiar face for the Charleston Battery, like we mentioned in the first half. Cochran, long ball forward, picked out the air by Hackshaw. Van Schaik finds Higashi. Well read on the far side by Castro. Back to Robbins. Robinson across the back line. Finds its way all the way out to Hernandez. Williams deep in the midfield, looking to really generate the attack. Gallagher. Again, the switcher flank that we've seen all night, looking for the press and reworking. Arambula feeds one forward, Metcalf's there. Miles Robinson, just 21 years old, drafted in the 2017 MLS Super Draft from Syracuse University, has made 7 MLS appearances this season, 3 of those being starts, and of course, like we mentioned, has 6 appearances for the Charleston Battery.
Charleston Battery on the defensive side of things have really kept their shape lately. It's quite impressive to see what
This
they're
could be
doing.
a chance. It's Gordon Wild. It's offside though, and what an opportunity that could have been.
I think there were some flashbacks to earlier in the season because on a similar attack in the first matchup, Gordon Wild was able to score and finish it, but just offside.
Gordon Wild is brought back and we are back underway. Mike Anhauser up off his bench below us, just dishing out his orders to the players. Alongside assistant Dusty Hudock. Now this really could be a chance. It's Guerra, he's onside this time. Gordon Wild on the ball, he's got Guerra in the box. Can he find a room to take the strike? No worries for Alec Can. Alec Can plays one out the back, and it's Carlton looking for Williams. Again, Williams just not given a second on the ball tonight.
It's been tough for Mario. You can kind of tell that he's run his legs out a little bit, and he might have picked up a bit of a knock from Hackshaw earlier that might have something to do with it. But it's been tough. He's tried to do as much as he could, but no dice so far.
Well, we're heading into the last 3 minutes of tonight's match. And again, we thank you for joining us for tonight's game, wherever you are. Some Five Stripes fans here in the stadium MUSC in Charleston, South Carolina. Atula Guerra on the ball. Can he find Gordon Wild? The pressure is there in the midfield. Drops it back to Kelly. Kelly again being the receiver in the middle. Angelo Kelly takes his space, and now Van Schaik out on the left-hand side. Hackshaw into the middle, the Battery enjoying a nice spell of possession. Arambula leads Van Schaik forward. Van Schaik for Guerra, he's looking for Gordon Wild. He's going to chase Alec Can and force him to play it out of the back.
And it's interesting seeing the Battery use possession as more of a defensive technique than an offensive one like we typically see from Atlanta United too. Just keeping it away from Atlanta United 2's attackers, trying to find any open teammate that they can, and they're doing a good job of it so far.
Castro. Back to the captain, Robinson. Again, everybody gets involved on the back line. Can Hernandez pick someone out? Up top, Carlton takes a run, does enough to earn a free kick. This could be a chance for Atlanta United too. Andrew Carlton really has been the playmaker in the middle tonight, been all over the field. An absolute immense work ethic from the youngster.
Yeah, and he's not going to give this free kick to anybody else. He wants this one. Nice to see the youngster step up and want to take this one.
Well, it's definitely going to be Carlton over the ball. The question is, will we see a strike, or is he going to deliver one into the box? A Disnall Cooper busy organising his wall. And it's going to be Carlton who's going to take the strike, and he forces Cooper to his post and just put wide. Not a bad chance that, and a great strike.
Not bad. It's nice to see the fearlessness that we've seen from these young players from Atlanta United. We saw George Bello in the first half really dictate and communicate well with his teammates to try to get himself involved. Andrew Carlton obviously taking his chances when he sees them. It's a promising future for Atlanta United.
Here comes Gallagher at the top of the box, looking for Williams at the back post. It's Romario Williams into the side net. Well, it fell for him, just not in a great position. He did what he could. The Battery get away with it. No damage done, and there's confirmation. There's going to be 4 minutes of added on time to today's match. Still plenty of time for a goal. It's going to be a Disnall Cooper to get us back underway. Wild up to Guerra. Guerra brings it down. Good control from the veteran. Atlanta can win the possession back in the midfield. Lofty ball forward. Forces Mueller to deal with it. And no worries for a Disnall Cooper.
Although they're short on time, it's not quite time for Atlanta United to panic. That was a bit panicky from Jose Hernandez to just loft the ball up like that. I understand his thought process, but that's when you kind of want to see some steady possession from the midfield from Atlanta United.
Cooper up top too wild. It's fallen for Guerra. Good combination play. Higashi is on the run. Can Gordon Wild take the strike? Alec Can makes a comfortable save. Kotaro Higashi was begging for the ball to be slotted through. And Gordon Wild wanted the strike from the top of the box. Got a good shot away. And he'll be desperate to get another against his parent club.
Yeah, if you're an Atlanta United fan, you love what you're seeing from Gordon Wild now and how active he's been in just minutes on the field. You know, the question now is, do we see him next season back in Atlanta?
Falls back for Cooper. Cooper just using some of his veteran experience, forcing Atlanta to make him pick it up. And he'll just be trying to wind down the clock as much as he can. Wild holds it up in the air. Castro with the second ball. And finally, it's Nico Rittmeyer. Lofty one out of bounds. Cochran to get us back underway. Robinson to switch the field. Into the middle. Lagos Kunga combining with the back line. This could be a chance. It's a good build-up. And now away by Taylor Mueller. Still time, and like we said, Atlanta really got the spring in the step. They've got just under a minute to try and make something of it here.
Good link-up play from Wheeler Aminu, Lagos Kunga, and Jack Metcalf on the right side, trying to find an opportunity there.
Into the box, Romario Williams there at the top. Andrew Carlton still fighting. Hernandez trying to pick it off Gordon Wild, who shows a bit of trickery. And again, Kotaro Higashi on the run. And if you're the Battery, you just want to get it out into these wide spaces out of your own half as we come into the last 20 seconds of the match.
It's been a frustrating night for Atlanta United too, but especially for these young players, it's all a part of the learning process. They're learning that they have to take their chances and make the most of them when they come. And although they haven't had too many, you have to find a goal, because a veteran team like this will make it happen.
Here comes Kunga for Williams. Can Williams find a pocket of space? He's desperately looking. He's forced back to Robinson, who takes a long touch, sets himself up well. And Carlton on the ball. That's going to be all we see from MUSC Health Stadium. Mike Anhauser's 199th win, and as head coach, and celebrating his 25th anniversary. And we apologize for not being able to speak to him due to a technical difficulty, but you can just see how excited he is to go and congratulate his players. The fans are ecstatic to celebrate him tonight, and tonight really is all about him. Nice to see fans from both sides congratulating him, and what a night it's been for the Battery. Unbeaten in 11 now, 199 wins for Mike Anhauser, Coach of the Month, and celebrating his 25th anniversary. I'm sure this will be a night that he remembers forever. Well, that is just about all we've got time for here at MUSC Health Stadium. On behalf of Poppy Miller, Harris Krusich, and the entire broadcast crew, thank you so much for joining us for tonight's match. What a night it's been. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.